What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Raj, aka Life of Lil Raj, or Andrew, whichever you prefer to call me, back with another video. Today, we'll be doing something a little bit different today. So, today, we will be doing the 100 subscriber special. So, thank you guys for helping me hit this achievement. It means so much to me. With all the views, subscribers, comments, likes, everything so far has been great, even though this might be a small achievement. It's good to recognize and appreciate all of y'all. So, uh, for my 100 subscribers special video, I figured I'd do something a little bit special. So, I'll show you my entire collection so far. I have about a little bit more than 100 models so far. So, some of them have already been unboxed and not reviewed on the channel, and there's other ones that I've unboxed and reviewed for you guys. And then I have a lot more that haven't been unboxed yet. So, you'll get to have a nice preview of those models and what's to come on the channel. But with that being said, I'm so grateful for all of y'all so far. The views and subscribers is means so much to me, I guess. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Can't think straight, but I really appreciate all of y'all. So for this video, I figured I'd wear my Piedmont Airlines shirt in spirit of all these models I have. And with that being said, we will off the checklist here. So before we begin, make sure to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. And without further ado, let's prepare for takeoff. So we'll start off with this shelf here with our Southwest fleet. So beginning at the left here, we have our 737-800 Freedom 1. Next to that, we have the Arizona 1. So this is the 737-700 in the heart livery, the heart tail. Then we have the next one. So this one is the Arizona 1. I believe this one is also the 700, but this one has the Blue Canyon livery. Next, we have the Colorado 1. So this one here is a 737, and this one is with the heart livery or the heart tail. And then here we have the Lone Star 1. So this one is the 737-700 with the heart livery. And then we also have the 737-700 with the Blue Canyon livery. And then here we have the 737-300, and this one is the one with the desert gold tail, and you can see also it doesn't have the winglets or scrimtars. Moving to the back here, we have the Slam Dunk 1 livery, so it has the Blue Canyon tail. And here we have a 737-800 in the heart livery, and then here we have the 737-700, I believe, 737-700 in the Blue Canyon livery, and then we have another 737-700 in the desert gold livery, and then over here we have the 737-500 in the desert gold livery as well. So moving along to the next shelf over, we'll start here on the left side of the shelf. So we have this T-Way 737-800 in the Pokemon livery here. And then next to that, we have the Continental 757. And then next to that, we have the United 757-200 in the Her Art livery. And this one is the California themed livery. Next to that, we have the other Her Art livery. So this one is the New York themed one. This one's also 757-200. And then further along here, another United. So this is a ritual livery, kind of. So it's the United 747 Friendship livery. And then here behind that, we have another Pokemon livery. And this one is with ANA and their Boeing 747 with Pikachu and all the other Pokemon there. And then behind that, we have our JetBlue A321-200, which was supposedly a special edition for airliners in 2023. So next up, we have our next shelf over. So this one has most of our cargo aircraft here, or house liveries as well. So we'll start on the left again. So we have our 777-9 or 777X, and then we have our Boeing Dreamlifter. Moving along, we have our UPS talent show, as Red River Aviation or Connor likes to say. So this one is the 747 freighter. And then moving along, we have our FedEx 777 freighter as well. Moving to the back here, so we have our Airbus Skylink. It's basically the Guppy. And then next to the Guppy, we have its bigger brother or bigger sister, whichever you prefer, the Airbus Beluga. And this one's the XL version, I believe. And then to the right of that, we have another DHL. This time it's the 777, but it's DHL instead of FedEx. And as you can see, for our World Series UPS as well as our FedEx and this DHL back here, they're part of the interactive series. So the door is closed on this side, but if we go over around to here, you can see we have one of the hatches open. And then here for the UPS, we have the nose open, and then on the FedEx, we have the cargo hatch at the front open as well. Next to the interactive DHL 777 freighter, we have two 757s for DHL. So you can see here we have the Richard, or not Richard, but we have James May
Cheese
back there, and then we have the Jeremy Clarkson as well.
Yes. Sometimes my genius it's almost frightening.
So obviously the phone's not going to focus too much, or maybe it'll focus decently here. You can see their Grand Tour themes. So we have Air Force One for James May, and then we have the Flying Orangutan for Jeremy Clarkson. So we have our next shelf here. This shelf is a little bit more crowded than the others here, but we'll go ahead and start on the left side here. So starting at the back, we have our British Airways A380, and then next to that we have a British Airways Concorde. Unfortunately, the tail is a little bit chipped because I had a photo or a picture frame fall off the wall, and unfortunately it kind of damaged this aircraft model here. But moving along here, so we have a Royal Jordanian 787, and then next to that we have the Emirates 777X, and then here we have a Qantas A380. Next to that we have the Qantas Boeing 747, and then next to that we have the Emirates 777-300ER, and then next to that we have the Delta Team USA livery, so this is the Airbus A380-900. Next to that, we got a tiny little plane here, so we got the JSX Embraer ERJ-145. And then lastly on the shelf, and not least, unless you feel otherwise, we have the Tupolev 144. Moving on to our next shelf here, so here we have a few 1 to 200 model aircraft here on this shelf here, so we'll go ahead and take a look at this one here. So here we have the Southwest 737-700 Lone Star 1. So you can see this is the one where it has the heart livery, or at least the tail is the heart livery. And then moving to the next one on the stand here, we have the Emirates 777-300ER. And then moving next to that, we have the Freedom 1. So this is the 737-800, and then behind that we have the 757-200 in the American Airlines livery. So this one is an in-flights model, and it has a nice or a decent stand there where it like has the label and such, which I think is really cool. So moving on to the next shelf, that's kind of a tongue twister to say. Next shelf, say that 10 times fast, but going to the video, focusing on these models here, I apologize, it's a little bit disorganized. I'm running a little bit low on shelf space for these 1 to 400 American fleets or American themed fleets. Okay, we'll go ahead and start over here so we can look as I trip against some boxes here. We can start here Looking at the Allegany American A319, next we have an Airbus US Airways, or basically the American US Airways. Behind that we have the 757 US Airways, and then to the left of that you can see we have the Chrome One World livery. In front we have that the Teamwork Coast to Coast America West, and then in front of that we have the American AirCal 737-800. Going back again towards the back of the shelf we have the Chrome Breast Cancer Awareness 757, and then to the front we have the Airbus America West, and then to the left of that we have another A319 or Airbus A319, this one in the current American livery. Behind that we have the Arizona America West, so you can see it's the city of Phoenix themed livery, and it's just basically the Arizona flag. Behind that we have the Phoenix Suns America West livery, and then next to that we go into our larger, more wide body, so we have the American 777-200, and then in the back there we have the 777-300 in the regular livery, and then moving back to the front here, so we have a 737-800 in the regular American livery, or the current American livery. Then we also have the Member of One World livery in the regular current livery, and then we have as well here we have the American Eagle Retro or Heritage livery, so this is the ERJE 170, and lastly we have a CRJ 700 American Eagle hiding behind the other planes. So moving along to the next shelf here, we'll start on the right side of the shelf. We have our 737-800 United Star Wars livery. Then we have the Star Wars Alaska livery. And then moving over, we have the Skymark Pokemon livery. So I'm not sure the name of the livery on the right side, but on the left one is the Pikachu livery. And then moving over to our next two Alaska airlines, so we have the West Coast livery, so this is the 737 MAX, and then we have the Alaska Do What Is Right, so that's the 737-900ER, and then to the left of that we have our 757 National Geographic livery, so that's the Boeing 757. Moving behind, I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is the TU 204-100, and then behind that we have the MD-11, so this is the Coca-Cola Fantasy livery, and on the box they don't do a good job of saying what name it is for the company that made this model, so I don't think it's NG or Gemini Jets or anyone that's well known like Herpa as well. Moving along, here we have the BB-8 777-300, and then next we have another one with the ANA, so this one is the 777-200, so this is the C-3PO Star Wars, and then to the right of that we have the Dreamliner 787 ANA Star Wars R2-D2, and then one more ANA, and this one is another R2-D2, and this one is the 767. So moving along to our next shelf here, not as many aircrafts, but these are bigger. These are the 1 to 200 scale aircrafts, so we'll go ahead and start on the left side here. So we have the 747-400ER with Qantas, and then below here we have the DC-9. So this one is the Coca-Cola livery, the FIFA World Cup livery. I believe this was from like 2010 or earlier. It's from a couple years ago. And then next to that we have the American AirCal 737-800, and then we have here the Star Wars, the United Star Wars 737-800 as well. So let's get you a view from the other side here, which is pretty nice. And then lastly on this side here, on this for the shelf, we have the Qantas Airbus A380, which is pretty nice. So I got these, especially the Qantas aircraft here as well, whenever I flew to Australia, so I don't remember because it was over 10 years ago. It's almost 14 years or 13 years now. But yeah, I flew from, I think it was from LA to Brisbane on this 747. I don't know if it wasn't the exact registration, I don't think, but like the 747. And flying back, I flew from like Sydney to Denver, I believe, on the A380. So that was an interesting experience, but it was a long time back because I was pretty much like 10 years old at the time when I took that trip to Australia. Comment below if you would like me to do a comparison video of these two, since I have the 1 to 400 and 1 to 200 scale. If you would like, I can do a comparison video. And then finishing off with our last shelf of models that have been unboxed. So in the back here we have our 747 E4B, and then here we have the 707 26000, and then moving back we have the Galaxy C5M, and then here we have the Boeing C40-C, and then next we have the C40A, and then behind that we have Barack's 757, and then to the right of that we have Trump's 757, and then in front we have the Trump Shuttle 727, and then we have the DC-9 Med Evac, and behind that we have the Independence, or also known as Truman's Air Force One. And then last but not least, in my office space at the airport, we have the British Airways A380 and the 777-300ER, both which fly into DFW on a regular basis. So I figured, since my channel is travel as well as aviation, I'd show a map here. I have kind of marked out some of the places I've been to, traveled to. So this includes like aviation, or like flew through or went on a train through, and as well as cruise. So what I count a place I've been to is where I've been outside of the port or whatever station is called. So like outside the airport or ship port, or outside of like the bus station or train station. So we'll start at the New World, as the history books like to call it. So here we have the United States. I've been on the West Coast, like Washington, and then like California, and then I live in Texas. I've also been to Colorado, and then East Coast, like Florida, New York, North Carolina. I've also gone on a cruise, so I visited all these places in Central America, and then I've also flown through to Costa Rica. I've flown to Ecuador as well, and then moving on to Europe, I've been to the UK. I've also been to Portugal, Spain, France, Germany, Poland, Italy as well. So funny story, aviation related, when I flew into Poland there, yeah, I have a point there with the pointer, as you can see. Poland, I flew in with Ryanair, and the first time I flew with Ryanair, the pilot flying into Krakow had the softest landing ever. I was quite impressed. But then going back to Germany from Poland, it was your routine Ryanair landing and such. So going there to the Middle East, I've been to Egypt and that other area, the Palestine-Israel area, and then I've also been to India. My family is from India, so I visited family in Mumbai and Goa and Hyderabad. And then China, interesting story, my sister is adopted from China, so I got to go visit her and pick her up when we adopted her. And then here we have Australia. So Australia, like I mentioned earlier, this is where I flew into Brisbane there on the 747, and then I got to visit the Great Barrier Reef up here, which was super beautiful. And then whenever I flew out from Australia, that's whenever I flew on the Qantas A380 to go back to Denver, and then from Denver, I don't remember who we flew, I think it was United, to go back to Houston. But yeah, just a little map I have on the wall. So moving along to our models to be unboxed, these are the remaining models that I have from Airliners International 2023 at DFW Airport. So expect these videos to come soon for these models and them to be unboxed. and then we can go ahead and move on to other models that I have that are yet to be unboxed. So next up as well, some more models to be unboxed. We have the 737-800 with the retro jet livery in the 1 to 400 scale, as well as the 1 to 200 scale in the flaps down version. We also have the Boeing 737 MAX 8 with Southwest, the MUA-1, and then we have the Boeing 757-200 TWA livery, as well as the WOW Airbus A321 Neo. And finishing up here to come later in the channel, sorry for the mess, but zooming in on the models we have. So we do have some 1 to 200 models here. So we'll have the PSA American A319, and then we'll also have the Boeing 737-800 American TWA livery and the A319 American Piedmont livery. For 1 to 400 scales, I also have the Boeing VC-25, then we have the Continental Airlines Boeing 787-8, and then I have the British Airways 777-200ER, which I've flown on twice, I believe, and then we also have the Embraer ERJ-145, then we have the Southwest Illinois 1, and then the Southwest California 1 as well. Then we have this, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the 737-800, and then we have the Airdo, or Airdo, however you pronounce it, Pokemon Boeing 767-300ER. So the Pokemon is the Vulpix Pokemon, so it's a fire Pokemon, I believe, for one of them. I don't remember the top what it is, but pretty excited for all these models to be unboxed. And last but not least, we have another box here. So this box, as you can see, is pretty big in comparison to how big I am. But yeah, that gives you a little hint. It's a 1 to 200 scale model, and it's pretty big, so it'll be bigger than the Airbus A380. But I am going to get the 1 to 400 scale model for this aircraft as well, so I can do a comparison of them both together. But yeah, stay tuned. It should be coming soon. Guess in the comments below what you think it's going to be. And if you guys can get it correct, or if you can guess correctly, I'll push that video forward for you guys. Alright, y'all. So that about summarizes my collection so far. Once again, thank you guys so much. I do apologize for the large amount of time in between the videos. As you can see, I've been a little bit busy, grew some more hair in between the first part of the video and the second part of this video here. But as you can see, I changed shirts representing TWA now. So with that being said, guys, thank you for all the subscribers, the views, everything. Hitting over 11,000 channel views and 100 subscribers. It means so much. It would have been possible with all of y'all. And with that being said, I thank you so much. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.